What's up, everyone? Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me or Nick?
Hi, everyone.
Can you all hear me? All right. Can you hear Nick? I'm going to shut up. Let her talk.
Hi.
Okay. I see Broke Stacker. Welcome. Sick Thinker. Welcome. D. McCoy. Pete Clark. Garwayne Treasure Adventures. Gene Ferry. Invisible River Ranch. Everyone, welcome. There are some other ones that passed by me, so say hello again. Welcome to the second Beauty and the Beast. I love the joke I pulled on Nick last time, but I'm not gonna wear it out. I'll save it for another day. But welcome. Hey, John Camper, welcome. So say hi, Nick. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm gonna let you do a little talking. That's besides.
Well, we just had Amy Harrell join the chat. Hi, friend. How are you? And I saw Go Georgia. Woo!
You like Georgia too, huh?
Yes.
You know, you're probably going to get me to start liking sports again.
Well, I did have some news. The New England Patriots did a lot of donating, a lot of turkeys this Thanksgiving. So.
Okay, all right. I might be willing to like them.
But I think a lot of the teams do a lot of charity work. But I mean, I'm a little bit more partial to the Patriots. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if that's who you decided. And we had Crafty Stacker join us and Casey.
Hello, Crafty. Hello, Casey.
And then there's OC Stacker.
Oh, yeah. I heard your voice for the first time, man. You sound nice. Almost as good as a tiger.
He's a Bama fan. Yuck.
Oh, okay. Boy, I got to catch up a whole bunch of stuff that I've let go for decades.
Oh, wait. I think I saw Gypsy Wolves in here, too. And he's not a real deputy, FYI. Hi, Dan.
Okay. Hey, Dan Root.
And the Broke Stacker.
Of course, the Broke Stacker. So I've released an unboxing and mail call where I showed a round copper that Broke Stacker made for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was at first, and then I saw Tuli's live stream where she got the same thing. It's like, oh, that's copper. Okay.
That's very nice.
Which I really appreciated. Thank you, Broke.
Belichick's not doomed. I think the quarterback is. I don't know. I haven't been reading my Boston Herald or Globe lately because there's nothing good to report. The Patriots stink. But the Celtics are very good right now. So the Celtics, my family's upstairs watching the Celtics game right now. So I'm missing that game. But they're screaming upstairs. So I know that's good. It means that they're winning.
Celtics. Now that's basketball, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I'm a very I like all my sports, whether it be basketball, baseball, hockey. I like it all. Football.
Your dad was very lucky to have a daughter that has some tomboy in her.
Believe it or not, I was his. Yes, I'm such a tomboy. You have no idea.
That works for me.
Yeah, I'd rather be outside. Getting dirty, believe it or not. I like to get dirty.
That's awesome. You know, I used to absolutely love that stuff back in the 70s. Absolutely loved it. So,
I
but
see you, OC Stacker. I see you.
hey, Gene Ferry,
Southeast Stacker. I wonder who you're going for.
I got your letter too. Thank you.
Any races or giveaways today, Tiger?
You know, I've been thinking about those races, those duck races.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Roll Tide. Are you kidding me? Are you
What?
related to OC? I just saw Southeast put Roll Tide, and that's Bama stuff.
And, you know, not the biggest fan of duck races, but I might be able to be talked into one in the future. But that's a topic for a different day.
Yeah, I'm in Alabama. Well, I'm in Maine, but I'm still going for Georgia. So, you don't always have to go for the state team. I'm in Washington State. I have to say, though, I'm an alumni from the University of Georgia, and my husband is from Georgia. And don't encourage OC Stacker, please. Now, Tiger, maybe we can have this conversation another time, but I do have some strong opinions on the duck races, and I have a lot of pros and cons. I think there's pros and cons to everything.
Let me put it this way, Nick. If I can have my way, I doubt you will have cons.
Well, I think, and then another thing is that we're all adults. We can choose what we want to do, right? So whether we agree with it or not, people have freedom of choice.
But you have to keep in mind, true or false, I have a very vivid imagination.
Yes.
I'm not saying anymore.
Okay,
Well,
but maybe yours would be different, but I'm just saying in general what I'm seeing out in the YouTube universe right now.
yeah, I agree with you on a large part of it. Besides, um, I want I need a few things. I need supplies. I need maybe another camera setup. Um, and when you see what I've got planned, I doubt you're going to see it as being the same as what you've seen on other
Oh,
channels.
and I'm pretty certain that'll be true, but I'm just talking in generalized, not off this channel, what I'm seeing as far as the duck races and all that is concerned. But
Yeah,
again, people choose to be there, and if they want to be there, that's
I'll give you that.
yeah.
Absolutely, positively, a-okay with what you just said. You know, there's absolutely nothing that I'm against what you just said. And to be honest with you, I've not participated in other people's duck races. Um, and people can talk about whether or not gambling, not gambling, this and that, versus that and this.
Right.
But what I will tell you is that um, I didn't participate in anyone's duck races, and it has nothing to do with gambling or not. It has to do with the fact they bore me.
Okay, well, let's get into our budget, because that's one of the
Yes,
things I have written down is
yes, that is the big topic for today.
is if you are stacking on a budget, those duck races aren't something that you should participate in, because you don't really
Absolutely.
know how much money you are spending nightly, because they're on nightly,
Yes.
weekly, throughout the month, and you'd be surprised people are not. I would put that into my dollar cost per average.
Oh, I agree with you
And if you
150%.
didn't win, and then maybe you won on another night, it's still all the money that you spent to get to that one win needs to be dollar cost per average.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm introducing the subject is because mine, I'm going to do dry runs here at the house by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to talk about it any further because I don't want to give away my uh, I don't want to give away my thoughts and my creativity. It just came to me one day, and I started howling with laughter. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, okay, but that was on my list as far as because I have participated in them. They can be fun. I did in the very, very beginning, but then I started looking at how much money I was spending on one race, and I said, if I start saving my money and stop this, I bet I could start affording a lot more silver, and I was able to start building a gold stack. So, of course, it's personal preference, and sometimes that's what people want to do. That's where they want to spend their time, and that's okay. But for
Mhm.
me, it was new at the time, and then I got a little bit smarter on my stacking, and I realized that, for me, this isn't I'm not winning. I'm spending $5, $10 every race.
Exactly.
It wasn't cost effective for me. And it was fun in the beginning, and still a lot of my friends participate in those. And I'll go in and say hello to them because what they're doing I'm not necessarily saying it's wrong. It's not for me.
Yeah,
I cannot spend my money there because I
I,
lose money.
I agree, and that's not smart stacking. That's not budget stacking.
So
But
that was on my list as far as how to stack on a budget.
I'm glad it came up then because it was
Yeah.
already on your list.
So it was a good segue, I suppose.
Yeah, I just learned that word today.
Oh, well,
See, smart lady, not just pretty, smart too.
well, thank you.
Listen to her.
And so that was one on my list.
So, but our topic for today is stacking on a budget, and I came from a middle, maybe low middle class family, and worked my way into medical school, and had lots and lots of debt. Just this year, I am now free of that debt. But other things I have to pay off, like the house. So you have other things. You have your car, your house, your maybe credit cards. Um, I have the advantage, well, had the advantage until my higher paying job wasn't there as much, where I could take the advantage of working harder, working longer to buy more. Okay. And some people don't have that advantage. I'm learning how to be more of a budget person now that, I'm not got the higher paying job. I got a job. So, but we have ourselves an expert.
No, I don't even call myself an expert.
Life is life, and you've had years of being a stay-at-home mom,
Mhm,
a mother, put it together, keep the household together until your daughter is ready for college, and now you're expanding her horizons.
mhm.
You're an expert.
When I started this, I wanted to do it on my own and not use the house money, so to speak. And a stay-at-home mom, our paychecks are zero. So I wanted to do this on my own with money that I found saving. And so I built quite a stack on my budget of zero. Like, so I just saved a lot of money in other areas, and then I used that money and I started building my stack, and then I started selling some and then building upon that.
That's true. And something that Broke Stacker just said is prioritizing the bills first, and
Yeah,
that's very important.
that is very important. But with that being said, so I want to just go back just a second, if you don't mind. But
Of
I saw
course.
Southeast Stacker said auctions. And that was another one on my list, is that if you're new to stacking, know what you're getting into. So when you do go to auctions, you know how much to pay, and you know that you're overpaying. So you don't overpay. So you should
Hmm.
educate yourself, and that helps as well for you to save money if you're educated on what you're purchasing.
It's true. Early on, I got into uh, the adrenaline of the
Mhm. Yes, and I think you're like myself, competitive. So if you see somebody bidding against you, you're like, "Oh, heck no, I'm gonna win this." So you
art.
may and it's fun too, and a competitive spirit. Sometimes you would overpay for that reason as well. So if you want to save money and you find that might be an issue for you, don't go in.
There's a lot of truth to that. I started later on using a second screen where if I'm watching the auction on this screen, I have a second screen and I'm pulling up eBay, AppMax,
Yep.
SD Bullion, Hero Bullion, and while people are thinking about while they're bidding on it, I'm thinking, okay, at this price, it's better than the online bullion dealers. At that price, it's equal. At that price, I would rather just buy it at the online bullion.
Yes, but I also go into something knowing about what I may want. I don't go into an auction and say, oh, that's pretty, I think I want to buy it. I know a little bit about where I'm going and what I need or what I want. So that helps as well because I've been shopping around.
There's some truth with that. And, in my case, where I was being encouraged to start my own channel by Stormy and Yankee and Silver Dragons and everybody else, I had gotten the name that I got, and it's in one of my videos, I called it Why Tiger, if you ever want to see why I chose the name.
Hi, Gypsy.
And then, hey, Gypsy. Hey, Dog World. What you doing, girlfriend? So I started collecting initially.
That's true. Oh my gosh, that's lovely.
Yes, it is.
That's nice.
And I held off on this one. It was on a Guido Stackin,
Mm-hmm.
but it was cheaper over at
Gosh, that's
AppMax.
nice. That's lovely.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
that's really nice.
This is just even the back is awesome.
Discipline, that's right. You got to have discipline, and that's what Frostbite just said, discipline, and I agree.
So, there have been times when I bought off auction and I've actually bought it for cheaper than what the online bullions are for.
Yes, and that you can, but again, it's about shopping around, kind of knowing what you want. I don't buy the first thing I see that I want. I'm going through 100 different looking around. And that doesn't necessarily mean online for online bullion. Maybe some people that within the YouTube world, some of your peers, sometimes you can contact them and they may sell. And that pawn shops, your local coin store, there's just so many resources available. Don't go to the first place you see and purchase.
That's for the most part true. My pawn shop, though, is very good at selling,
Mm-hmm.
but selling back to, if you need to, and you got to do it in a crunch, yeah, I think I can get better deals on trying to get money back
Mm-hmm.
if I do other things. And I'm exploring other things. I did a live with Frosty on this, and he pointed out that because I was dealing with some fear
Yes.
of taxes, that I had a little bit of FOMO thing going on. By the way, Frosty's highly intelligent.
Yes, I was just reading some of his comments, but I didn't want to interrupt because
Let's see here. Where's he at?
the Invisible River Ranch says I should get lobster claws along with your tiger claws. Who would win, the lobster or the tiger?
The tiger.
And Gypsy Wolves and I have been doing this ever since from my very beginning. I've known Gypsy Wolves, and we've kind of seen a lot of auctions, and we have our favorites. But then we did see an auction too where they just didn't care how much people paid for it. They were willing to see an item go for over hundreds of dollars more than what it was worth.
Oh yeah.
And so you got to be careful for these people because some people do want to take advantage.
Yeah.
Especially if new stackers. And if you don't mind me saying, if you're new and people want to know how to do this on a budget, before you get into anything, please have your exit strategy. Know what you might do what you would do if you had to sell. Don't go into this blind because it's a lot easier to purchase than it is to sell it.
Definitely. definitely. And I've been stacking for 2.5 years, and this was the first year I've ever had to sell. I had no
Mhm.
intention on selling, but my back was to the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But that's what it's for, right? We
true,
don't want to sell, but if we have to, it's there for us.
but the advantage is my mistakes I've learned from them.
Of
And
course.
I'm hoping that if I next time I have to, which I hope don't have to, that we can I can do it smarter. And that live I did with Frosty was an incredibly
Yeah,
educated
I
experience.
watched that and I thought that was a very good show, and it was very interesting.
I like doing lives with smart people.
Yes, well, I liked it because it was peace dollars, and I really don't know a lot about the peace dollars because I tease about them. They haven't been my favorite. But I do still like to learn about coins because I just love coins. So that was very helpful for me.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing on stacking on a budget.
Hmm.
Symbiotic relationships. Okay, Frosty's a numismatist. That is so hard for my tongue to say. Frosty is a numismatist. I'm a stacker. I now understand more about numismatics,
Hmm.
and I like it. But between my job, my work life, all that, trying
Hmm.
to build the YouTube channel, I don't have the time.
Well, my first love is numismatics, and that's what I started in, and that's what I still love because I love coins. I love the history of coins. I want to know everything I can about them. Gypsy knows that sometimes I go too far, but I want to know everything I can about them. So stacking came later. Stacking came after, I finished a couple of collections that I was working on, and but numismatics, that's where my love is.
So let's see what you say about this one.
Can you flip it over,
Of course,
please? Is that an Olympic?
yes.
It's got a glare. I can't see. Is it jostling?
It's javelin.
Javelin. Okay. I didn't know what that was called. I mean, I may be
Yeah,
into my sports, but not so much into my Olympics.
I used
uh,
to throw javelin. I wasn't any good at it, but I used to throw javelin.
so I have not seen that coin, but I do know that they had an Olympic series come out in 1996.
Well, this is older. This okay. This right here is
Hey,
in
Ellie.
the new Cyrillic.
Hmm.
It's Russia, but
Okay.
Soviet Russia with the hammer and sickle, and it was during the 1991 Olympics.
Hmm.
Okay, and I have some that are clad, but I found these for $27 an ounce, 90%,
Do you know what?
uh, at my pawn shop.
You want to know what I would like to find now that you brought that to my attention? Is a 1980 Olympic hockey coin, if there was ever one. Because you know what
There
happened
probably
that
is because they're all over the place. Now this one belongs to Frosty. I got that for him.
Frosty, I wonder if there's a 1980 hockey team um, Olympic coin. Because you know what happened in 1980? You had the Miracle Dream or the Miracle, what do they call it? The Miracle Team. I was born in 78. So, but my dad told me about them, and it's where the United States was against Russia and we actually won. But, Russia always had professional hockey players on their hockey team, and the United States could only have college players. So our college players won against the Russian team.
So those, I mean, I'm
Miracle on Ice. Yes, that was
mm,
it.
and I'm a big fan of getting anything Eastern European because
Hmm.
of my background.
Hmm.
I have a small collection uh, of Russian gold and Soviet gold. Uh, I have a small collection of Russian and Soviet silver, 2 of the Ukraine silver before the war,
Hmm.
and my collection of Nikolai Tesla coins, which I've shown before.
Yes, I like Tesla.
And did I send you one?
No,
Okay, I'll get around to that. But
I love Olympic. Yes, Gypsy, that would be awesome.
that they did, Frosty, they did beat them.
Yes, they did. Yes, but it was again, it was Miracle on Ice. I mean, it was a hard fight. There's a and I don't watch movies. I rarely watch movies, but there was a movie I think oh, what's his name? I could see him. Kurt Russell was the coach. He played the coach. Um Excellent movie. You should watch that movie. I don't remember the name of it, but it's good. And it goes through the whole story of that Olympic team, the United States Olympic team, hockey team.
So true. So true. No, I think this one's Frosty's. I think this one's a small one. Yeah, about half the size.
I can't see it so well. It's a glare. Oh, biking,
Yes.
bicycle. I hope it's not Armstrong's, Lance Armstrong's. Is that his name? Isn't he the cheater?
Oh no, this is probably a remake of one of their athletes at the time.
Gotcha.
Because it's a Soviet coin.
I see. Well, I'll just be honest. I'm not educated in those type of coins, or I rarely get foreign coins unless it's from Canada because I basically live. I mean, I'm so close to Canada. It's like I am Canada, but I'm not. But we do get a lot of coins from Canada.
And this is a very good purchase for per weight, but I won't recommend it for everyone.
Well, you purchase what you like, right? If that's what you like.
Silver shot.
Silver shot. Well, that's not something I like. So you must be getting ready to do pours.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my workstation put together. And of course, when I want a location, wifey wants the location for something else. So, it's going to be kind of like, well, okay, she wins. Now, what can I have left over? So, but no, the advantage of silver shot is that it's cheaper. The disadvantage is there's no demarcation on it of what it is, and it's kind of hard to test until you make it into something. But I'm looking forward to doing that. And if I'm any good at it, I'm probably going to send some out to my friends, and that type of thing, especially my good friends.
So, another talking about pours, that is another budget tip I have. I don't buy pours because it can be more expensive when you have. It can be. It's art, and they can charge whatever they would like to. But for me, that's not something that I particularly like. So I don't buy a lot of, home pours.
Yeah, this is not cheap. This is a silver Baggins round made by MK Bars back in the day when he went by Silver Baggins.
Mm-hmm.
Before Warner Brothers gave him a cease and desist.
Okay.
These go for a big premium. So
I bet, but it may go for a big premium peer-to-peer on eBay. But if you had to sell quickly, do you think a local coin store is going to give you what you paid or put into it, or give you that premium back? I don't think so.
No, they won't. They'll give you spot.
Right, exactly. So that's something that
this one would be better going to collectors who are collecting these types of things.
Yes.
But one of the things I really was looking forward to you telling, and I'm going to shut my mouth here in a second. I really would love for you to tell everyone what you did as a mother and a wife to generate money to buy your stack.
Oh, well, You know, I used to, well, you can't do this now, but I used to clip coupons and I would have a budget on how much we would spend for groceries for the week. And if I had enough coupons, I would take the rest of the money that I saved in coupons and I'd put it in a teapot on top of my counter. And I would just put where I saved, I would just put it in that teapot and it accumulated over time. And then I would go through every bill we had and to look to see if there was any money that we were being overcharged, whether it be light bill, water bill, cell phone bill, especially. I would look at our banking fees. And sometimes I do make mistakes. And I think that you should be going through your bills every single month. Still, I do not have paperless billing. I have all the paper coming to me because I want to be able to go through it, except I just realized my bank is charging me $3 now for a paper copy. I'm not pleased about that.
Also
So,
very
so I'm going to be going to the bank and telling them that either they refund it or I'm going to go to a different bank because that's the only one that I know around my area that's charging that much for a paper copy. And also in Maine, when you go buy a 6-pack of, we'll say, soda or water bottles, you have to pay 30 cents for a 6-pack extra for a deposit. So, especially when my daughter was playing softball, I used to accumulate bottles like it was going out of style, and I mean quickly. So each time I would take about 1,000 bottles back, and I'm walking away with $50. Although I look at it as like I've already paid that money, but I didn't pay it all at one time. So if you save them up, it's like saving your money. So I walk away with $50 and I bought a silver round.
so that's a good idea. Didn't you tell me also you did knitting?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes. So I would crochet throughout the whole year and I made something that was very unique and it was very unique to my state and to my college. And I would sell out within 2 days at a craft fair. And I'd walk away with about $5,000 within 2 days for the work that I did all year. And I like doing that too because if I'm watching the game with my daughter or and my husband or we're watching a program, I'm not one to keep still very easily because I always know I have something I can do. So if I'm sitting there crocheting or knitting, I'm more out to sit still and just hang.
That's a good idea.
Oh, donate plasma, West Texas Stacker. You know, that's funny you say that because I was looking into that, but I was like, oh, because just, I wouldn't mind making, they're about $600 a month you can make donating plasma because you can get $100 a pop. Plus, you can do it at least twice a week. And then they add it to a Visa card. And so somebody at my husband's work, they do that all year long. And then at the end of the year, they go on a vacation with that money. And she has about $3,000 saved on her card from donating plasma.
And it doesn't come out of their original funds.
Right. So that's just another way to treat yourself and save money. I love saving money. My husband is a banker and his thing is to have money is to save money.
True.
Right. And you just never know when, like right now, inflation. I heard on the news that the middle-class American family is spending at least $11,000 more than they did in 2020 to continue the same lifestyle that they had in 2020. So 11,000 more a year, and that just keeps going up. But our paychecks are staying the same.
Exactly.
So we have to learn how to save money. And I'm not high maintenance, believe it or not, and I don't like stuff. So I don't buy a lot of knickknacks and stuff. I save that and I buy gold and silver.
There's a lot of truth there. And to quote someone, my very first YouTube person I ever watched, Lynette Zhang, she likes to call that, was it monetary confusion, I think is what she calls it, where you think you're making more, but you're actually making less because you buy less and less and less with more and more dollar signs.
And that's right. And, I mean, we even have shrinkflation, and people don't realize you're paying more for a product, but you're also getting less of that product. So you have to buy more. So you're really spending a lot more money.
Most certainly.
Hi, Cosmic Creations. And I just saw OC Stacker. He said something about me knitting him some Bama something. And no, my needles won't knit stuff like that.
What's a Bama?
Alabama. They call them Alabama, or they call them Bama.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that brings me to when we were talking about paychecks. That's another thing that I'm very big on. When my husband gets paid or I get paid, we do not overpay on our taxes. We pay exactly what we're supposed to pay, because I'd rather have that in my paycheck than get it at the end of the year, because the government is not paying me interest. So they get exactly what they're supposed to have, and I do not overpay each paycheck. So at the end of the year, we zero out. We don't owe them, and they don't owe us. And so I'm able to take some of that money as well, and I'll invest it in gold and silver.
That's a good way to do that.
So
how did you do? Go ahead. I'll shut
I'm sorry?
No, you first. Ladies first.
Well, I'm sorry. Now I forgot what I was going to say. So you go ahead.
How did you do for Black Friday?
I didn't buy anything. I did not see any deals that interest me.
Understood.
Except OC Stacker had some great deals. We popped up on Black Friday night. We were just going to kind of look around at the sales, and he was gracious, and he came on and he offered a lot of things. And I think you were there, Tiger. He offered things at spot, or maybe $1 or over spot, but he was cheapest in town.
I know. He was my Black Friday.
Oh, great. Hi, Brett. I'm glad, because he was that was very kind. But yes, he beat all the bullion companies, but I'm finding the Black Friday is almost like Black Friday in name. It's not like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not find any deals, and I'm a good shopper, and I couldn't find any.
Yeah, I got 2 call, because he limited to 2 for the
Oh, that's right, because you sent me something which was very nice. And if I had it, it hasn't come in the mail, I would show it. But it's OC said it's all shipped out yesterday. OC said that, Tiger.
Okay, that's cool to know. Thank you, OC. No, I got two call maples. I would have bought all the call maples.
Yes.
And for $1 or $2 more, I bought more maples, because one of my goals is to fill up my monster box. I'm about maybe 3/4 full. And I'm same thing with American Silver Eagles. I don't buy them a lot. When I get a good deal or something, that I'll grab it. But I saw those maples. I'm like, oh, if I could just fill that box.
And it's a goal, because it's fun when you feel something, right? But I have to say that I'm a collector. I love walking liberties. And if you see me at an auction and they're good price, I'm going to go at it with you, because I love them. So I have to say that when I was selling stuff, it was my duplicate walking liberties. And that's where I made the best money to be able to invest in stacking. It wasn't selling it's not selling my stacking per se, or like the silver rounds or semi-numismatic is or I call it collectible rounds. It wasn't selling any of that. It was selling my numismatic coins where I was able to make the most money. And because they were worth it, so it was selling walking liberties.
That's not bad.
And to be honest with you, the best sell is I've found is junk silver. Last summer, I was able to, I didn't want so many 40% Kennedys, and they're larger, so they take up more room. So I sold a bunch of those and people love the junk silver. And then even a lot of my 64 Kennedys. I love Kennedys, but I had so many, and they were taking up so much room that I'd rather have dimes, because they take up less room. But I was able to sell those, and I sold those within 2 hours on eBay. So it's also
Did you even with that 13-14% eBay premium?
Yes, because I don't sell on eBay a lot, but when I'm selling my junk silver, I'm able to get that plus more of the I'm I'm able to make it back. But again, it's me selling a lot of my numismatic stuff. It's not selling any of the more modern rounds of the
Okay.
collectible stuff. We'll say like your Marvel or your Batman stuff, or what I mean, the semi
Oh yeah.
numismatic.
Oh yeah. I bought a bunch of the Marvel stuff back
Hmm.
when I first met Stormy.
Yes, yes.
And I was I want a whole set. And I
Mhm.
granted I was not buying smart, but
Yes.
you know, I think I had to go through that phase before I can get back to the stacking phase.
Hmm.
Get that itch scratched, or otherwise I would never get back to being
I,
normal.
well, look, I made a lot of mistakes in my beginning too, but I'm glad I made them, because I'll tell you what, I won't make those again. But I had to learn them for myself to make adjustments.
Exactly.
But you are
Exactly.
constantly, if this is what you love and what you do, you have to constantly look at your spreadsheets. Have a spreadsheet. Know what you're spending. Know where every penny is going. And then
Exactly.
always reevaluate and make sure you have goals and set them, and look at those spreadsheets and then reevaluate.
It's a good educational tool. I actually have two spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm.
One for when I'm buying, and I'll put the items in there, and then what I sold them for,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a tally for what spot is, because it's the only thing you can really,
Mm-hmm.
you can't guess what the premiums will be, but you don't have to guess on spot. So it gives me an idea if
Mm-hmm.
I had to sell at spot what my percentages were. But when I had to sell, I took all the rough data I had. I started up a new spreadsheet where I put in the data bought, sold, what the spot was, what I
Mm-hmm.
paid for it, what I got it for, in fact, I even made a video on it about the Fed's
Oh my
forcing me to sell my silver. That was my very first time doing a selling spreadsheet. But what it is good for also is not only just for the taxes, but also it's a great education. They're like, oh, that didn't really go so well. But next time I'll be more cognizant to try to make it look to make it a little bit better.
Mhm. Yes, and I also put the premiums on how much of a premium I'm paying, because I want to keep my premiums low, and that's something that I find a lot of pleasure in, is when I can get at a very low premium. Um, so Gypsy Wolves says, I still make mistakes. We all are going to still make mistakes, Gypsy Wolves, but it's we learn from them. And I agree with Frostbite. He's also said that buy that shiny thing, but make it the exception and not the norm.
So
And
true.
your cost per average can still be very low if you're buying those every once in a while. A lot of
Mhm.
times too, the nice fun, if there's something that I can't afford, I'll save up for it.
Yeah.
I may not be able to get it today. We don't have to be a now society. I mean, I know we're a now society, but we don't have to be a now. We could
Yeah.
save up for it. And so you're not dipping into funds, because I've seen too many people use credit cards. And that's another no. Do not use a credit card to buy gold and silver or even numismatic coins.
Oh yeah. So and you made mention about knowing what you bought premium wise.
Mhm,
Now on my the first spreadsheet, I don't include in each individual item what I paid for it.
mhm,
Okay, I just put in the total tally what I paid, how it added up for everything I've paid dollar wise for what is currently in my stack, and
mhm.
compared to what the spot is. But the reason I don't worry about what the individual was on the spreadsheet is because they're on the items.
Oh, okay.
It takes a little bit extra time,
Mhm.
but I mainly do this for wifey. So,
Okay.
so if she has to
Oh, I
sell,
see.
like
Yeah.
if she has to sell, it's like, no, he paid $55. Now, granted, I bought that at T the Silver Stacker auction on that date,
Mhm.
but it's like, no, that's something I'm going to try to get closer to that price on.
Yes, but that's a little tricky, because a lot of times when you're reselling, especially at a local coin store, you're going to get really close to spot, right? You're not going to get too much
True,
over, even if it's a
true.
collector's piece. So
True.
that's where I've had to re-educate myself, because if we'll just say something did happen, people lose their jobs every single day.
Most certainly.
Or they're having a health crisis. And sometimes we might have to go into that stack. So I don't want to sell now. I don't want to sell my silver, but if I have to, I'm going to go there before I ask for help elsewhere, right?
Yes.
So I've realized that I'm only going to be getting close to spot on these pretty nice things that I spent a lot of money on.
True.
So that's a lot of that is why too I've changed my spending habits on what I want and what I stack. I want it as close to spot as I can get it.
I totally agree with you. But one thing I also did, I went a little further with that,
Hi, Michael.
because a lot of us think of our stacking as generational wealth.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And what if you have family who are interested in the same stuff you are, such as stacking,
Who are interested or who are not?
who are not? And that's my scenario.
Oh, I have my whole family is not, but they would love
Okay.
to reap the benefits.
I have a video that I did a number of weeks ago called You're Dead, Your Family's in Trouble, where I not only talk about my spreadsheet that I just mentioned, the first spreadsheet, not the other one. I also mention what I call my death letter. And in the death letter, I clearly spell out everything I could possibly think of and where to go to try to get the most bang for your buck. So all she has to do is grab the death letter. It's in 2 hidden locations. Grab the death letter, read it, and execute.
Yes. Well, I have said that from the very beginning, and I think Gypsy Wolves knows this too, that my daughter has no interest in this whatsoever. And if there is some left for her and I can leave it to her, which I hope there is, I don't call it a death letter, but I do have a binder and I'm very organized and I write in everything that she needs to know. And I've even written the history of some coins as well. And she'll have to read it if she wants to sell this stuff and to get the most for her bang for her buck. So she'll go in educated just like I am. Now, of course, it's not going to be everything that I know, but yes, I have from day one written down what I have, where you can sell it, where you're going to get the most money. But yes, I have done that as well. And I keep it very well organized. And I update it as soon as I get a piece in. So don't wait. Do that as you buy, because it'll be a lot easier if you do it as you go.
Well, here's another thing on the selling side. Where is the worst place to cash this in or anything like it?
Where is the worst? I've never cashed one in, and I don't know if I would cash one of those in.
Okay, hold on. Let's make it a little bit more plain. Cash one of these in. Or
Where's the worst place? At the grocery store or at a Coinstar is the worst place to cash that in.
And one other place.
Gas station.
I'm going to hold that one back until my friend Frosty decides to disclose that on us. He's a smart man. But that's food for thought. Think about.
Okay, so there's 3. Okay, so because I'm very, I can't move on until I know. Okay, so I would say of course the grocery store, you don't want to cash it in there, or Coinstar. So you're saying there's 3 places that you should
Another one.
There's another one. Your pawn shop.
Nope, there's something worse than the pawn shop.
Local coin store?
Nope, worse than the local coin store. Is Frosty still here?
Well, don't tell me. Oh, the bank. The bank. Wait, here's Frosty. Bank. Okay. See, I would those 3 places that we just mentioned, it would never have crossed my mind to go cash in my junk silver. Or
yeah,
that right there, though, that quarter that you just showed me is not something I would consider junk silver, though. Even though it's constitutional, there are some that is like I would think is junk, junk, but that one right there is not junk. That one could go in a nice fine collection, and you could get a lot more money than you could.
Well, by definition of junk, it is junk because it means less than pure silver. However, it's not
Well,
junky. I actually use the term junk, constitutional, and all that kind of interchangeable.
well, I use, my junk is like, the quarter, the 90% quarter that's like very worn down. Something that you wouldn't want to see in a collection, or, I mean, it's dingy, gross, and very
Mhm.
worn. That right there, somebody would pay a premium to put in a collection. That's a beautiful quarter.
Which brings me to the next way to stack less expensive as a stacker. Frosty and I did a live and a video where I went through all my piece
I
dollars,
agree, Amy. Mhm.
and he saw, because he's a numismatist and
Mhm.
knows the value of coins based upon how rare they are.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm more of a weight person, and I should, because if when I die, my wife won't understand except weight.
See, I don't want weight. I
Mhm.
don't go, I'm not a weight person.
I understand, but you don't have a wife that has no desire to learn stuff. She's learning because she likes me being on YouTube. She's proud of my YouTube stuff, but not
Mhm.
proud of my stacking stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is Frosty made out, because he got coins that are valuable for him and his collection. I got additional weight. I almost doubled my weight simply because of that. Okay. And if you are a stacker, that's a way to potentially increase your stack
Mhm.
without having to spend any more money. Similarly, I went to the post office, not post office, to the pawn shop,
That's true.
and one of the guys that was working at the pawn shop liked my slabbed Steamboat Willie and
Mhm.
Cinderella.
Mhm.
I bought one of those, each of those, from Stormy,
Yes.
and he wanted that for a Christmas gift for his wife. So he traded me the silver shot at melt. I got some cash back, and I bought the Soviet silver.
Mhm.
There's wifey. Say hi, wifey.
Hi, wifey. Hi, stacking surfer.
Hey,
And
Steph.
yes, they see it as pocket change. I even I know it's funny, but I have found silver in the coin stars when they eject, because they will not accept silver. So it ejects silver. So I've actually found, change in there, and I found dimes, silver dimes. And
Yeah.
yes, I don't care where I am. And I've embarrassed my daughter going in there. She's like, Mom, why are you checking the coin star to see if there's been any ejected change? And so when I did that, she's like, going away from me. And then there was a whole line of people going to take things back at Walmart. So the guy goes, shoot, because I did find something. He goes, shoot, I always check those and I forgot to this time. I'm like, well, I got something, and I did. I had a silver dime in there. So I mean, there's no shame in my game. I found silver.
Let me point this out to you. Nick has just pointed out something I keep forgetting. You know those Coinstar machines where
Yeah.
people, they can dump their coins in them?
Mhm.
The Coinstar machines eject silver coins. They won't accept it. So if you're going to buy a Coinstar machine, put your hand in there. You might get some free silver out of it.
Or even ejected coins, because sometimes it doesn't accept all of them, and then they all are injected there. So they do not accept Canadian coins, and of course in my area we have a lot of Canadian coins. So ooh, that's a pretty one.
Yeah, I was really shocked. I went after this one. 1928, very good relief. And I thought I saw an exposed breast. So I was like, couldn't believe it was
It
1928.
wasn't the booby coin.
It's not a booby coin, but it sure looks like it. I mean,
Oh, what? Maybe Frostbite can help me. What year was the booby coin? So to let the chat know, of course, it was a quarter that showed the exposed breast, and of course they discontinued that, so to speak, because they thought it was too pornographic.
Yeah, but our society values everything from the old Roman and Greek empires, which they clearly showed body parts.
Well,
And
yes, but of course, in America, it didn't work at the time, and we're a very modest society. So I believe it was only 1 year that they had that coin.
1916 and part of 1917, if memory
Okay,
serves me.
and maybe that's right, because in my head I was thinking 1916.
It was 1916 because that was the year they came out with all of them, and 1917, and I think it was partially through 1917 that they started putting the chainmail on her.
Yes,
Which
yes.
I really thought was weird because she's supposed to have chainmail, and I barely see any chainmail. I think the chainmail got a little hole in it.
Yes, and so Frostbite said it was 1917. It was close around either one of those years. I'm not sure. And E1337 collection, he's in Canada, so I'm sure he likes all those Canadian coins. But our banks now, they would take them and accept them, but now that they don't go through our coin machines to sort them, they're telling us we can't spend them or we can't bring them to the bank and cash them in. So I guess I just have to go to Canada and spend all my Canadian change.
But you live real close to there.
Yes, I do. I'm about 2 hours from the Canadian border.
Yeah, and I would love to go back up to Canada. I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, I've been there quite a bit. There's a lot of interesting things. My favorite place to go was Campobello, which we went to President Roosevelt's summer home, and his parents' summer home too. And then I also saw his little White House in Georgia, where he went to Warm Water Springs when he had polio, and then whatever that was. And he had the warm water baths and the physical therapy hospitals he started and all that good stuff.
That's one place I haven't been to. I've been to Niagara Falls a few times.
Canadian side or New York side?
Yes, to both.
Oh, okay. Because I've only been on the New York side, but I've heard the Canadian side is much prettier.
Oh, I was just going to say that. It is. There's more of the falls on their side, and much prettier.
So 1916 was correct. And then 1917 is type 1 and type 2. So I have a friend that has one of those. And but he paid some good money for that. And his name is Ramno. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat have heard of Ramno. He's a very generous donator, and he's got one of those coins. They're very hard to get. They're very hard to find, especially in good condition. And so they go for big bucks.
Yeah, my pawn shop sold one to me at a decent price. I mean, really decent price. So I got lucky. She's kind of good to me that way. Like I said, she's very good to buy from.
So Stacking Surfer's walking up to a Coinstar right now. Now check it every single time. I promise. I have found so when we were visiting my in-laws in Georgia, I found a quarter inside the Coinstar at Walmart. I found in my Walmart, I found a dime. And so 90% silver.
Free.
My goodness, it's, why not? Oh, another tip for saving money: eat at home. Don't buy Starbucks every day either. That's a lot of money.
Now watch it with that Starbucks.
I love Starbucks. I am a coffee. I love my coffee. But do you know what? My office, I'm not going to tell you where I work, but dang nothing. Hi, Craig. My office does not provide coffee, so I get up earlier in the morning so that way I can take my coffee and I brew it and take it with me to work in my little LL Bean little thermos. And I bring my own lunch, which is not much. I just bring a protein bar, but also don't eat breakfast on the road. We eat at home, and that saves a lot of money.
It will. It will. There's also another way to do that too, because I honestly think, and we'll go into a little bit of politics here. Um, I honestly think Biden only told us one truth. We're going to have a food shortage.
Well, then that's when you should start stacking, right? You should start, and Surfer's been good at talking about that, and I know you have as well. And I have something on my channel as well as far as stacking food,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's one of the other reasons I want to get back to my better paying job.
Mm-hmm.
My backyard, I have taken the advice
Hi,
of
Isaac.
Marjorie Westcote or Wildcraft. I think it's Wildcraft. I watched her on Lynette Zhang's channel. She talked about for beginners trying to have their own food, growing your own garden, at least the size of a parking spot for a car. I think more. And this is for two adults. Chickens, 6 chickens, and rabbits is a basic start.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Well, and I think that's great. And that's just not my wheelhouse. I mean, you're not going to see, yeah, I'm not, I mean, we have rabbits in my yard because we don't want them there, but we have tons, and we have porcupines and moose and deer, and I don't want any of those animals in my yard. But nevertheless, it's like National Geographic here.
I understand. We have loads of rabbits now. I made a huge mistake when I bought my first 4 because Marjorie's recommendation was 3 females and 1 male. They'll produce enough meat for 2 adults all year round.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't getting any rabbits. So I asked a rabbit person who knew more than I did to come and visit me. And the reason is that my one black male
Mm-hmm.
was a black female.
Oh, you can't have bunnies if you got 2 females.
No,
That doesn't work that way.
So we ended up getting a male from another source, and we have bunnies coming out our ears. And my wife will say, "When are you coming home from work?" Well, on this day. Good. Why is that? Because we got to move some of the bunnies into freezer camp.
Bye, check stacker.
You leaving, Check, or you coming?
I think he's leaving. And
Check,
Ellie
well,
had something too.
thanks
She
for coming.
said, that's amazing. That was a great idea. Because, I mean, nevertheless, going to a Broadway show, I'm sure, is expensive. New York is extremely expensive. But she bought our dinners, and they ate in the car before the show.
True.
That's a great idea. I mean, I don't buy popcorn and stuff when I'm at the movies. Well, a lot of it, though, is because I don't want to eat the junk and gain weight. But nevertheless, I save money not by staying away from it.
That's true.
And I stay healthier too, right? You're going to stay healthier if you eat at home and you're not eating junk on the road.
True.
Saving medical costs, right, Tiger? Medical costs are very expensive.
Oh, yeah. I spend over $2,000 a month of after-tax money on premiums for wifey and me with a $3,000 per person deductible.
My deductible $7,000. We won't even go into how much my insurance is.
Yeah, I'm thinking about raising my deductible too, because that's ridiculous, especially with the decreased income with the current job.
Well, when you're paying a family insurance policy, and you have $7,000 deductible for each person, plus you're paying on top of that your premiums each every pay period. It's wicked expensive. Yeah. I mean, a lot of that money is going to medical costs, and of course, with that being said, you still have to pay the doctor up until you hit your deductible. So
true.
So it's like, by the time we hit our deductibles, it's like December. So we're all like rushing to get into the doctor this month because we hit the deductible and it starts over in January.
Oh, I remember that when I did my family. I was a family doctor for many years.
Ellie,
we're all doing that.
I have what they call Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, but it's Anthem. Mm-hmm. It's extremely expensive.
You know,
So
it's Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield out here, and it's the cheapest you can get, but that's not cheap.
no,
Yeah,
none of it's cheap though. I mean, even I'm just seeing right now about the Obamacare stuff, and those premiums are very high. People
yeah,
don't, they want to think that that's a great healthcare, but it's high premiums. And I hear about that every single day at my office.
yeah. And it's just no, it's
I pay my doctor with
driving.
my body part. Cut out sugar, carbs, especially fast food with sugar, high sodium. Yeah, but that's not always fun though, because I do like sugar. So I do in moderation. Moderation, I believe in life is the key. Anything in moderation. When you have excess or too low, it's bound to fail.
So very true. It's so very true. And the thing is that I don't see it ever getting better.
No, and we can just think of it as it's probably going to just get worse, right? Um, we got elections coming up though. We won't get into politics. We'll see how those go, and then we'll reassess then.
Yeah, I saw something on one of the YouTube streams where
Things were
uh,
reasonable back then, of course, Amy,
yeah,
things were reasonable, much more reasonable when I was a child. So I thought this channel was swearing free. I don't swear. Did I swear?
that was probably me.
Did we swear?
Is that me?
I went to an orthopedic doctor and paid 300. I said wicked, but that's just the main thing. Put up the swear jar, Frosty. So who sweared? Because I don't swear. Gypsy, you know I don't swear. So did I swear? I swear I didn't swear.
I'm wondering if it was me. No, Ellie says no.
No one did. Okay. Maybe politics is a swear word.
Hmm.
Even coins from other countries, coin stars won't. Yes, that's true. I mean, other foreign coins will not go into the coin star; they'll be ejected. So, and a lot of people don't check that because sometimes it's slow. If you're putting a lot of coins in there, first of all, save money and roll your own change. Don't go to the coin star and put your change in there and let them charge you 11.7%. Oh, Obamacare. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You.
Michael Stacking says I owe the curse ball.
Well, they probably just want you to put money in there just because.
Okay.
But
Oh,
who does go to Coinstars? I mean, go to your local bank first and see how much they would charge you for it. Don't go to the Coinstar; it's expensive. Well, it is to me anyway. I know I'm nickel and diming things, but I'm telling you, over the course of a year, these things add up. And I'm
I've
gonna
I've never used Coinstar.
neither
How
have
is
I.
that expensive?
OC Stacker. My bank is free. My bank is free as well because I make my husband do it. But I know that there are some banks starting to charge, and they won't even give you rolls for your change anymore. They don't want you to roll it. A lot of banks, they're changing their policies. So, but just check, some credit unions I think is still doing it for free. My bank's doing it for free, but there are some banks that will charge you, and they'll charge you maybe 1 to 2, 3% maybe, but then nothing as high as Coinstar.
Oh, Coinstar rolls the coins.
No, you put your coins in there and it will tell you how much you have, and you can take your receipt and go up to the cash register and get whatever you had, but they're going to charge you for counting it for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And about 11%. So my uncle had me do some one time and he had a $700 in the bag. And I mean, think about that at 11%. It's a little.
Well, if you really want to roll them, I mean, years ago, I bought a couple of those things off of Amazon
Mhm.
where it will drop it into the coin tubes for you, and then you can put them in the little paper rolls once the tubes
Oh,
pop off.
I want to do my own because I go through every single piece of change that I have. And if I think I see something, I'll put it in the loop first. And if I think I see something, I'll put it under my scope. But I have gone through every bit of change that I've ever had, and I still go through my pocket change. So I'd much rather roll it myself because I'm going to go through it all.
Well, I can't blame you there. Back then, I didn't know anything about silver and gold, so I just
Yeah, well,
did
that's
what
where I
I seen.
started. Is in 2020. I had one of those water coolers. Remember those big water jugs?
Yeah.
And we were just told that we have to stay in. It was March of 2020. And so I had this big water jug of change that my husband and I have been saving for the past 20 years. And we had several of them. And we just never spent our change. I went through every single piece of change, every single one of them. And that's how I got a great education on numismatic coins, because I looked up every single year, every single denomination. I looked up everything and learned everything I could about it.
Wow.
And I looked under on my scope or the loop, and I mean, I don't care if this is the same year. I looked at them all. It took me the matter of that whole year, but I was entertained and I loved it.
And plus, you came out highly educated from it, also.
Yes, and Ash Gypsy's in here. Hi, Gary. Um, yes, and I retain all the information that I have, that I read. So thank God I got onto YouTube, because my husband would have to hear everything that I learned. He was like, yes. When I had some friends on YouTube that we discussed coins, because yes, he wanted to listen, but he just wasn't interested. So once I found a program, and we stayed at that program for a little while, and I learned even more there. And it was a place where I could talk with people and have fun talking about it. And then my husband didn't have to listen to it all, because I'd read every time I read. He says, I don't have to read a book because Nikki will read it and tell me all about it.
Well, could you imagine, since your husband doesn't like to hear you talk about this stuff, and wifey doesn't like to hear me talk about this stuff.
Yes, he does love you guys.
You and I are talking about this stuff. They're going to break out the Starbucks and ignore us.
Yeah, my husband will. Yes, he's got filters, is what he calls them. But at least he supports my hobby. But not everybody loves it, and not everybody wants to know everything about a penny, everything about a dime, or every single year, or an error, or a variety. But that's my love still. And yes, I stack, but I would much rather be looking at a numismatic coin like that.
This is from my teaching stack. I have a bust half dime, a bust dime, a bust quarter, bust half dollar.
And those right there, I just think it's history. There will never be another one of those made.
Ever.
That is it. And then I think, who touched those? What was their life like? Where has it been? That to me is, and like the Morgans, like, did somebody throw that up on a table and play poker? Was it in any, did they play poker in a saloon? Did they, it's just, they used those, they spent those. It wasn't something like, our half dollars where we just collect them. They spent them.
Well, they did. And I think often about
the seated dime.
Yeah, this is the seated dime. I think I even have a seated half dime somewhere.
I don't want to know where your coins have been either, Gypsy Wolves.
And the thing is that the way I look at it is that my grandfather, which I think was born in 1901, I'm sorry, 1891. That was the stuff that was in his pocket.
Mm-hmm. Was it blood money?
And here's something that I think will get your juices.
Oh my gosh. I love those. I love them. It's just a beautiful coin. I mean, oh, and look at the eagle. I just that does get my juices flowing. I mean, what year is that? I can't see.
Let me look. 1943.
That's a pretty one.
It is. That's in my teaching stack.
Yep, that's yes, that's a walk. I love those walkers, Gypsy. It's beautiful. Was the first collection that I completed, and it was a big accomplishment because there's a lot of walking liberties that have as key dates, and they're very hard to find. I do go cuckoo for those. I love them. But they can go for a good bit of money and not be in the highest grade either. And that would be a 1929 or the 1921D Walking Liberty. Hi there. But I'll be honest with you, again, I was at some auctions and I got a lot of walkers, duplicates that for very good price. And I sold those, all my duplicates that didn't go in my collection. And I was able to buy a lot more. So it's the numismatic side that I was able to get at a really good price, sell it for what it was worth, and then be able to buy more. It wasn't just like a regular gold or silver stack. Well, silver anyways. Gold you can get pretty much a lot, but those are not my favorite. I do have a few.
Yeah, but this one is the first year, and I wanted that in my teaching stack because that was the year that they switched from the Morgans
Morgan to the yep.
So my goal was to teach my grandson how we went from this and this and what came before it.
So let me ask, and I want to know from the chat, what do you prefer, the Morgan or the peace dollar? I like the Morgan better. What do you prefer, Tiger?
I like them both. I think then this is going to go right up your alley, Nick. Mm-hmm. I think the tiara on the Morgan is prettier. I think the tiara on the piece is less pretty. So but I'm stacking a monster box of half and half.
Right. So I picked up, I believe it was the 1921D, and it was in a grade G4, or no, I'm sorry, a 6, which is not a very high grade, but that coin is worth $300. So, just because you've seen a worn coin does not necessarily mean there's no value.
There's some truth there.
And it was a 1921D. And I think the 1938D is another, it's a semi key date. That was another one too that you should, if you see, pick up. But that 1921D, mine is very worn, and I got it graded. I bought it graded. Because there were so many that when I saw them raw, I was like, no way am I spending that much for it. So once I bought it graded, I was like, oh wow, it is worth that much.
This one is going to my friend Frosty. I sent him pictures when I was at the pawn shop.
And that was a short series. That was a short run.
What this 2070?
No, the peace dollars. It was a short series.
Yeah, it didn't last as long as the Morgans did.
Nope. So the key peace dollars are 21, 22, and 28. Now, would the 21 be because it was the first year that they minted those, or is it because there's not many of them? I'm not sure on the mintages.
I don't know how to respond to that. That is, oh, thanks, Frosty. I appreciate it.
Let me see. I can get my red book here. Now, this red book here, I'll tell you, I really don't use this about the value of a coin, but I do like this to get information on a coin as far as sometimes it has errors or whether it's a double die, but I like it for the mintages. So when I don't want people to think that I use this. This is what I use it for, is mostly mintages. And it's a good guide on the value too, but I don't update my book. It's a guide. Never use. I don't. That's one thing I always learned, is never to use it for the value. It's helpful, and it gives you a starting point maybe, but it's not my go-to for value.
You know, that might be in the same area that what we used to say about medical books. You know, and that was back before the internet became the internet.
Hmm.
God, I was always at the tail end of all these eras. Anyway, you would read the textbook, you'd learn everything about it. You're sitting there talking with your attending, telling him everything you learned in the textbook, and then he tells you that's old information. But it's a brand new edition. And he would say it took time for them to make it, go through the editing, get everything ready, print it, get it out, get it sold, get it bought.
Right.
Old information.
And I would think the gray sheet would be most closer to the value of a coin. But again, the mintages are something that does not change very often. So by the time that they've, printed it and gone through it, the mintage stays the same pretty much, unless there was a mistake. But
Exactly. And I ended up buying uh, both a red book and a blue book. Haven't used them yet. I'm probably going to as now that I'm becoming smarter with my smart friends, Nick, Frosty, and everybody else who's into more than just straight stacking. Oh, by the way, if you really want to learn from some really smart people,
I use the gray sheet OC stacker. That's what I look at value on stuff. I honestly have not seen the blue book.
well, the point I wanted to make out while you're saying that is those of you who have not subscribed to Nick, please go
Oh, well,
subscribe to
thank
her.
you. Thank you.
Please subscribe to her. She is really close to 1,000. You know, she's been doing live streams for a long time. The only person I know that is not doing videos and doing so successful. So please go to her
Yeah.
and subscribe to her. The other thing I
Recording
want to point
videos are just not my thing. There's so many that are so good at it. I know Frosty's good at it. You're good at it. I'm just, and I see, oh, I mean, there's so many people that are good at recording videos. Not my thing. I have recorded some with Gypsy before, and if you ask him, it's like, okay, nope, we got to start over. Nope, we got to start over. I just am not good at it, and I never can get everything that I want to say out, or I forget things. So, or I look stiff and constipated. I'm just not good at recording. So I won't have many recorded videos put on the channel unless it's something that we're like I did Stephen King's house because people were interested. If I'm taking pictures of something, maybe. But
okay.
yeah, I won't do too many recorded videos.
Well, if you ever do want to do videos and you're afraid of that, I can always introduce you to my brother-in-law.
Well, thank you. I'm not afraid of them. It's just I would much rather interact with the chat, and sometimes I learn just as much from the chat. And I like to. I'm still learning at all of this stuff, and sometimes we can get great ideas with interacting with the chat.
Most certainly.
So
Now,
and that's what I like, and I
and
and I like to talk with everyone.
the other person I really want to shout out who has seriously impressed me with his level of knowledge and has taught me a lot is Frostbite. You know, Nick, would you punch in exclamation point find me? And
Set up my room.
what's that?
It said, Nick, you need to help me set up my room. Yours is very calming.
Okay.
I don't know where Frosty needs any help because I mean he's killing it. And very funny, very entertaining. Yeah, I do feed off the chat, Gypsy. It's I like the content in the videos. Thank you, Brett. But Frosty is very entertaining. He's makes learning fun.
He
But
does. He's the
yeah,
only numismatist that doesn't bore me.
I need to tab peace dollars because I can't find. I have to put my tabs in because the ones I don't go to very often, and then of course I get talking and then I forget where I was going. But another book that in another channel I was on the other day, and he was on our channel, is Cherry Picker's Guide. He has a coin featured in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and it's coin op. It's ops. Gypsy, help me. It's not op with an S. I think it's with just op. But he's very interesting. He has discovered a lot of coins that have been featured in this book and has helped editing the book. And it's Robert Lawson. Coin op. If you don't, do you mind if we drop that link, Tiger?
What link?
For Robert Lawson, coin op.
I'm pulling stuff up to pull up links here in a second.
Okay,
bear with me here.
He's very, very interesting. He was on our Surfer and I's last show, and I've known him for a while, and he's discovered a lot of coins. He's very interesting, and he's very good friends with John Wexler. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him. Of course, he is very well known in the coin community. So he's very interesting. And I didn't realize how I always knew that he was very interesting and has done a lot in the coin community. But when we had him on the show, I just couldn't believe all the coins that he's discovered.
Oh, all right, you're here. Welcome, RH.
Thank you, Frostbite. I'm sure Frostbite knows him as well, but yes, he's his featured Mercury dime is in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and his is right on the cover, and he discovered it.
He discovered what again?
I don't know exactly, but it was a Mercury dime that he has on the cover. I don't know what was the discovery. I don't remember that, but it's his coin that is on the cover of Cherry Picker's Guide, new edition.
Okay.
Very, very interesting. Yes, they had an auction tonight. And if you want to go get a good numismatic coin there too, he's very reasonably priced, and you'll learn a lot as well. Yes, he has a lot of discoveries, Amy. That's true. Okay. All right. Let me read this really, really, really closely, OC. So make sure what I'm getting myself into. Okay, so if I do that, what's going to be on the other side of the bet? What are you going to do if Georgia wins tomorrow? I was thinking about maybe we should bet a silver round. Do you want me to switch channels now to CoinOps? I don't know. Well, I don't think he's on right now, but or you can go back later after this broadcast and go watch Stack on my channel where we interviewed him Tuesday night. We have that live stream.
Hey, Nan. Okay, I'm not being the fastest person in the world. I have included links to CoinOp, Nick, and Frostbite.
Thank you. And it's just really interesting for people that if they're really into the numismatic coins varieties and errors. And I know Frosty, he's a great channel too to go see as well.
Yeah, he's a scream.
Yes, I've been watching some of his shorts and and I watched your guys' program. I wish I could watch more stuff. It's time. And
That is so true. And you just
I
returned
like gambling for ounces. Well, I don't do that very often. And I don't promote that. Don't do as I do. Ian.
But no, I found Frosty very entertaining, and my jaw hit the floor when I started watching him. Like, okay, I
do
want to watch more of him because he's actually entertaining.
He is entertaining. I think he's funny.
I
like the mustache. It makes me laugh. He does.
my favorite
Oh, thank you,
thing,
Brett.
my favorite thing is when he did the poems in Halloween.
he oh, I didn't see that one. I'll have to go back and look, but I've seen his things come through my feed more now, so which I'm glad because he makes me laugh.
He does. He
And I
is.
like people that make me laugh because again, this stuff is fun. This
It
stuff is
is.
fun for me. And in learning this stuff is fun. So
It
anybody
is.
that can make me laugh while I'm learning is I love it. And OC Stacker, I think he's the only one outside of somebody doing a live stream with me that can get an eye roll from the chat because usually that's not, I don't usually eye roll with comments, but OC Stacker is the first. Okay, so
The flip
Stacking Surfer would like to know which silver bar is Tiger donating to the Flip Coin Fund?
What's a flip coin fund?
They're probably trying to buy my coin, my flip coin.
Oh,
Oh man, how could I be so absent-minded? I left it upstairs.
she didn't want me to get my juices flowing over that big red tea.
Well, it does stand for Tiger.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I am taking some of Stacking Surfer's advice. He told me what I should do with it, and I bought something, so it's going to be. I'll unveil it just like Vanna White when it's. I'm going to put it back here, and then I'm going to take the sheet down and show you guys what I've done.
Oh, Nick, Vanna don't got nothing on you, girl.
Well, I used to turn around and do the channel Hall of Fame, so I need to bring that back as well. So I could put tigers on there, and I need to put OC Stack. I don't think I have OC Stacker sticker, but let me show you what sticker I do have.
Oh, the real one.
The real one. I have him on my refrigerator too, because he said in the video that he thought it might be kind of creepy to find himself on somebody's refrigerator. So as soon as I got that sticker in, I smacked it right up on my refrigerator, right there when you open the doors, and he's still there. And my husband laughs every time because my husband had heard him say that on one of his videos too, or maybe it was a live stream, I don't remember. But so he laughs every time we go up to the refrigerator because they're a surfer.
Yeah, I didn't get a real one. I got Club Cook and Club
You have it on
Group
your
or
checkbook.
something like that. I don't understand what the two clubs are, but
Ellie has hers on her checkbook. Long lived coins. It's good to see you.
Long live, welcome.
Ellie, I don't have a sticker. And Stacking Surfer has been on me to get one done. And now I have so many ideas for one. And he's also made a beautiful one for me too. I mean, Stacking Surfer, when it comes to this stuff, is amazingly smart. So smart. Because I always say that my YouTube channel is basic. You're gonna get basic. That I don't do all the graphics and stuff. It's just not my thing. But Stacking Surfer, he's a genius when it comes to this stuff. So anything that's really cool on my channel is from Stacking Surfer. He's helped a bunch.
Yes, he is. I am in your ballpark with
Mhm,
the lack of tech.
mhm.
The advantage is that I have a good family.
Yeah.
My wife is good tech, but my brother-in-law is outrageous.
Yeah. And that helps because I mean, it's not like you're not busy that to be able to learn all this stuff, but it's just not something that I don't have the patience for. I just can't sit still long enough to want to do. I mean, so I always said, when I first started YouTube, I'll do live streams, and if people don't like it, they don't have to be there, if they don't like the basic, but all you're going to get is me.
Well,
So,
just you is still pretty cool.
yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, I like to point out is the fact that my family is in Ukraine. My in-laws are still in Ukraine, and they're in an area where, any one of them can get bombed at any time with that war going on.
Point.
And my, for the
Good night,
entire
Craig.
time I've
Thank you
been
for
married,
joining us.
I've been sending money to my in-laws,
Mm-hmm.
and we continue that to this day. My brother-in-law is of the mindset he doesn't want to have a handout. He wants to earn his keep.
Mm-hmm. And he
So
does well on your
he
stuff.
does. And he was doing only Dog World for a while, and then when they saw that I was serious about
That's one
fighting
of
to learn how to do YouTube, and I went from the editing that's on YouTube. The editor on YouTube is not so good. It really isn't. Then
I've never used it.
wifey taught me iMovie, and then my brother-in-law took over and said, "Quit doing all the special stuff with iMovie. Just do this basic stuff, and I'll take over from there." But I'm very happy with the tech. I want to learn the tech, but my wife put out a very important thing. My job right now is not tech.
Mm-hmm.
My job is providing money for the family.
Mm.
Okay, get
That's
out
an
there.
important job.
That is my job. And whether it's my wife here or my mother-in-law, brother-in-law over there, they have no source of money over there except what my brother-in-law can make was work over there, plus
Mm-hmm.
what we give for a long time now. But I want to get to a point where I do good stuff by myself, like Surfer does and all that. My brother-in-law will teach me, but that's not my job right now.
Yeah, that's not my job right now either. But I know I can't even imagine what it's like for you to have family in the Ukraine right now. And we keep them all in our prayers and our thoughts because it can't be easy.
And,
I'm
and,
sure you're
and
worried about them every day.
I do too. And the thing is that I know some people say we shouldn't send money to Ukraine, blah 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 blah. I can't agree with that. Not only because my in-laws are over there, but if you look at it, NATO and America talked the Ukrainians to giving up their nukes, and in exchange they promised to protect
Hi,
them.
Steve.
And
Mm-hmm.
when all this happened, what are we going to just renege on promises?
Yeah.
That doesn't build strong relationships, whether it's best friends or countries. So I wanted to point that out simply, and I know this is more
Well,
about
the United States is still giving money to them. So
yeah,
what people say
but
doesn't matter. They're still getting funded.
exactly, and we just got to get to a point where we stop spending money on things that and redirect those to crises that happen in this country while we help the crisis over there.
Mm.
But
Thank you, Brett. I saw the comments. Thank you. And it doesn't embarrass me, but thank you. Because to be honest with you, it's really, really long. So December 13th, I got a haircut.
oh no, you're gonna cut it?
Oh
No.
my gosh, it's gotten so long. It's so heavy and so thick that my hair isn't even curling right now because it's so long and so thick. So I'm gonna cut a lot, come December 13th.
How much you cutting off?
Oh gosh, it's down and then it's probably down to my rear end right now. So I'm gonna have to do at least 4 or 5 inches.
Is it gonna go to Locks of Love or something else, or just on the?
If I have enough to do, I probably will do that. If I do that, it would be up to my shoulders, and I just don't know if I want to do that right now. If it was summertime, I would because it grows faster in the summer because my hair grows really fast.
Huh?
But if there was something that we could do to raise money for charity to see Nick cut her hair 12 inches, heck yeah, I'd do it. I would. If we could donate money for charity for me to cut my hair, and then of course I still would donate the hair to Locks for Love, I would absolutely cut my hair 12 inches.
Wow.
But we'd have to raise enough money for charity of my choice. But yes, I would absolutely do that. And I've done that. I have donated it at least 3 times.
Okay. So if you're going to donate your hair to Lots of Love and you got the best hair on YouTube, and can we get the third best hair on YouTube to donate, aka Stacking Surfer?
I was just going to say, now if I cut my hair 12 inches, which would probably still go below my shoulders a little bit, would he have the best hair if I did? Would he win? Well, who's the second? You said that he's a third. Who's the second?
Stormy.
Well, that's to be determined. I still think
it's Gypsy wants to show Polly Buck.
No, Polly Buck does not have the best hair, Gypsy Wolves. He wanted to pretend he thought he did it because he's getting that, it's going back a little bit here, Gypsy, but need some color in your hair to win. Yeah, right. To be determined. So I mean, really, I think it's between Stacking Surfer and myself. So if I cut my hair, would Stacking Surfer win? That's to be determined as well.
Ellie, did you see what Ellie wrote?
Yankee has the third best hair. I've never seen his hair.
He's bald.
He's what?
He's bald.
Oh, he is? Well, then there. So when I do go down to Tim's store, if I see a bald man there that's wearing funky shoes, I know it's Yankee.
Yeah, he's got like horseshoe hair.
Horseshoe. Oh, like this?
If this is your head, and
okay,
this is your face,
okay.
it goes around this way.
No,
the top is bald.
So I got to tell you a story. When we were in the restaurant, I remember I probably still have the picture. So this guy that was sitting in front of us, he was going bald back there, and he had a tattoo of he had a lawnmower of a guy pushing a lawnmower around his hairline where it was going really thin because it was balding. So it was like a guy going around, mowing the lawn.
Okay.
It was just really funny. Because it's like, but anyway.
Well, Surfer, I'm not saying anything that is, I mean, he designed his own emoji after himself. Look at the emoji.
That's why I donate. Let me see. That's why I donate my hair when it gets long enough. Stormy than me. Oh, that's right, Brett. You have long hair too. So, because I could see in your picture you do. So you donated as well? Do it. I'll match you the video. To St. Jude's. I do like that charity because I believe a lot of that money raised for St. Jude's goes to St. Jude's. I just like to donate to charities that I know most of my money is going to go to the charity and not high salaries. So that's kind of what I base things on. I do 2 weeks for kids. Oh, Brett, that's amazing.
Ellie, I wasn't going to mention that.
Oh no, Nick needs an emoji of hair. And I need to get on these stickers because Surfer and I have had so many great ideas on what I should do for channel stickers that I have so many that we could possibly do. I probably have a sticker for each day of the week.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Surfer. That was a big bad thing that happened with him accidentally exposing himself.
He did.
I was really upset about that. I was going to mention it. Ellie did, but I was just talking about what his emoji just showed it. But no, I got a great thing for you for your hair. Okay, you've seen my sticker, my pin with the tiger on the motorcycle. Take Tiger off.
Put me on the motorcycle?
Put you on the motorcycle with the wind in the hair, and it flows, baby. It flows.
Flows into walkers, walking liberties. Because I would love to have like my hair and then all these walking liberties. Be honest with you, that was when I had NICS coins. What I wanted was me to be on the walking liberty, but it'd be me, but like the dress flowing, it'd be the liberty. But anyway, that's, or I was going to be like a Morgan on a Morgan.
You know, I'll buy a bunch of those stickers.
But yes, I wanted to be on my favorite coin, but it be me. And you know, I love the walking liberty. So okay. Stacking Surfer. Is this true? OC Stacker, if he was to show us his hair right now, that he would have the best hair on YouTube? I don't know if I believe you.
Think so. I don't think so. I think you will still retain the title.
NICS was a great charity is also they help save dogs and get them. You know, that's another thing too, is I would love to do maybe an animal charity too, because we do a lot. There's a lot of channels that do St. Jude's or the Wounded Warriors Project. So, you know, I would love to do something about for animals as well. Because you know, they need charity, you know, money as well. So I mean that I would be open to that.
You know, what type of animal charity are you talking about? You know, the only one I know of is the stuff that my wife is involved in. She's in the early stages of animal rescue, a dog rescue.
Yes, well, you know, there's a lot of new charities, like for example, battered women shelters, where you know a lot of the women cannot take their pets with them, so they don't leave the house when they're being abused. So now that they're having places where you can, the women, battered women shelters that will take also their animals with them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and this is a new thing that I've heard about, and that's true. A lot of them won't leave with their animals still in the home because they're possibly being abused as well. So these shelters allow these women to take their pets with them.
Which is actually not a bad thing when you consider there are a lot of dogs that are used as therapy dogs.
Yeah, but and it just may be a pet that's been with them and comforted them, you know.
In the shelter, you know, you got lots of bad emotions, depressed people.
Absolutely, and
then you have someone come in with their dog and cutesy tootsy lovey doggy, and then next thing you know, it made a new friend here, a new friend there, and lightens up the depressed environment.
And so, I mean, that I would be passionate about too, because but and I can get more information on it. But Stacking Surfer says that OC Stacker may have to do a hair reveal. Okay, listen, OC, you cannot claim you have the best hair and not show it. You gotta, it's the show me hair. You know, the show me. You gotta show me. We should adopt tigers. Hi, shiny man. And I got your email. I don't check it like I should. And I'm started one back for you because I have 3 that I've read and I need to respond, and I'm responding to all of them. So I just didn't finish by the time that we went on. And Brett thinks I have the number 1 hair, but we can have a contest again.
Now, the best test for the hair now is not only the hair and the style and all that, but how well does the hair hold a tiara?
Well, I mean, oh, have you seen me? I have several tiaras, and I have. They've just broke because they're not real. They're like the, you know.
Nick,
I need to find a adult one.
Nick,
Yes.
Did it get there?
No.
Not yet.
No. because I thought we were starting at 8, I had to rush home from work because I usually don't walk through the door until, so I had to rush straight home. I couldn't stop at the post office because I didn't get home and walk through the door until about 7:30. So I was rushing down here to be here at 8 to be on time.
Well,
So I wasn't able to do that.
I apologize for that. That wasn't intentional.
Oh, I know
was
it wasn't
I
intentional,
was
but
driving and I was using voice recognition to do my typing, so I wouldn't
yeah,
tell my.
on a Friday night getting through town, it's takes a little longer, and then I had to stop and get supper for my family because I couldn't cook for them when I got home because I was trying to get down here. But
It's Tiger's fault.
well, it's all good. It's all good. They're fed. They're fed. So, but no, so I didn't get to stop by the mailbox because I was kind of pressed for time.
Now, I did want to point out another thing.
Oh, hi, Brett. Thank you for joining us.
You leaving, Brett?
Yes,
Thank you
his
for coming.
phone is not charged. Bummer.
Well, one thing I did want to point out also, because people are talking about saving money.
Yes, I didn't even get through half of the things that that I do.
Yeah, but there's one thing before you do your thing. I want to point out one thing, and then we'll be quiet for a second. I am 12 view hours shy
Wow.
of 2,000 view hours. And as per promise, at 2,000 view hours, I will give away 2 more ounces of Tiger Coin silver. Okay, so that's coming, and it's probably going to be past that point. So just to let you know that's coming.
Congratulations, Tiger. That's amazing.
Thank you. And Nick, you're part of the reason because I needed those 12 hours. I didn't have time to drop videos, although I have them in storage. So doing this with you is going to pump me over that. So,
awesome.
So the best silver is free silver. So 2 people are going to win 2 coins of Tiger silver. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that live. It depends on my work life, but we're going to do that, and I'll let you know when that's coming. So now that I've said my little piece,
no, I mean that's amazing. I think congratulations.
Thank you all of you. Thank all of you. And thank for my mentor and Surfer's mentor, my mentor, Yankee Stacking for teaching me enough about YouTube that I knew what to do next and to do next and to do next. But I also wanted to point out that I wanted to thank everyone who watches my videos, comes for the live streams, and the gratitude is going to be shown very shortly into my work life.
OC Stacker. That's funny. Did you see what he put? That is funny.
But it's so true. So true. I've said this. I've never told you this, Nick.
Okay.
But I've said this. So true. Nick Coin comes with her own premium.
I don't.
She has her own premium. So I'm grateful for the friendship because it also supports the channel and all that. Oh, and by the way, a little side note, I saw someone mention, when am I going to do something on Nick's channel, Surfer's channel, or both?
And we are going to be doing something soon.
Yes, we are. The topic is yet to be decided on, but we are. And Surfer talked to me today about when, and I told him I'd let him know what the schedule is. So I'll be sending you and Surfer a copy of my work life.
Okay.
So get that scheduled up.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
Oh, thank you, Ollie. So, but that's coming. But continue, Nick.
I'm sure they don't want to hear what I have to say about that stuff now.
Honey, you could sell moldy bread.
Oh, I wish I'd be rich.
Oh, I agree with you, Surfer.
Oh, thank you, Ellie.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Nick is a keeper.
Oh, good night, West Texas Stacker. That one I'm going to get tongue tied every time. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, West Texas. So, what are your other ways, Nick, as we're getting closer
Oh,
to 2 hours?
oh, we are getting 2 hours. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
we're
you.
really, really, really close.
Oh my gosh. Yard sales. Yard sales and
Oh,
garage
yeah.
sales. Because you might be able to pick up some mint sets. And there's silver in some of those mint sets up to 64 and
True.
prior. And then of course 65 to 70, you have a 40% Kennedy in a mint
True.
set. And so, if people are trying to do this on a budget, start slow.
Yeah, and buying onesies at a time,
It's
there's
okay.
no shame in it. There's no shame in it.
No, I started off slow. I mean, on a budget of 0, that's the only way you can go. But especially with numismatics, you can build that up and you can resell and then always turn it in for something better. That's beautiful.
Yep, that's Sauron,
I don't know who that is.
uh, Lord of the Rings. He's the big bad evil guy.
Are you serious, OC Stack, or are you just kidding me? Because that's a lot of money. I would do it for that. I would. For charity. Wow, that's generous. And yeah, I don't know what those, I've never seen Star Wars, but I was thinking of surprising Stacking Surfer and watching one movie and knowing everything about it.
Okay, here's something to put in the chat. Should Nick, as she's going to start watching Star Wars,
And the Lord
should
of the
she
Rings is better, Ellie.
watch them in the order that they came out in the theaters?
Gosh, no way.
Or should she start with the
Oh, thank you.
storyline chronology
That's sweet.
wise? So put a 1 in the chat if she starts with the very first one that came out in the 1970s. Put a 2 in the chat if she is to start from the beginning of the storyline.
NICS. I think I should go in order because that's my personality. I get an OCD type personality. If I don't go in order, I wouldn't do it. I don't think I could do it.
Okay.
And OC, no. Well, I would let you cut my hair. But that means I have to come out to California and either you or Stacking Surfer is going to put me up. Lake City. And that means you guys are going to be hosting me for free while I tour California. I want the LA star map. I want to go see those big, big trees in the forest. I want to see Alcatraz and the Golden Gate Bridge. And I want to drive where I can go to San Francisco and get the rice. That's just a joke. Stacking Surfer. Did you see what he put? He says he has Marriott points. Oh my gosh, I just spit all over my computer. Oh my word.
Be
Spit all over.
careful. I spilled ramen noodles all over my one computer and had to go buy a new one for wifey, and I got the hand-me-down.
And then I gotta go get sourdough, and then I'm gonna go to Gypsy Wolves too. He can actually help you guys put me up. So yes, Stacking Surfer, and I love this. He calls my better, well, he's not my better half because I'm his better half, but he calls my husband Mr. Nick. I love that. And I told my husband that, and he's like, oh, but he's so laid back, he don't care. He thinks it's funny.
Well, he did marry up.
No, oh yes, I saw that. I take that back. My husband watched that. Well, I just couldn't watch it. I said, give me the highlights. So yeah, I got the highlights, and then of course at work today I got the transcripts. So, but the Marriott would work just fine as long as it has a pool, please. I like to swim. Oh, I do not
Cool.
see a problem. I am retired and can do Star Wars. Look, OC, I thought you were talking about trying to get some points too, so to put me up at the Marriott. Or maybe the Hilton. Oh, I prefer the Beverly Hills Hotel, please. The Ritz, no, stacking server. I think I would the Beverly Hills Hotel would be just fine. So it looks like everybody's going to be funding my trip to California. OC, you might be able to cut my hair after all. Overlooking Laguna Beach. Yep. Okay, that too. Maybe I could split half my time at the Beverly Hills Hotel and then the Ritz. You got Marriott points too, Gypsy? Okay, it looks like we're going to California.
I think they're offering you to go to California. I think they would want to keep Tiger in the cage.
Needs to put a Nick Kelly visit fund. Yes. I second that motion, and I think it's hereby passed. It is the Hilton.
Motion?
Oh, well, I just know it as the Beverly Hills Hotel, and they got really nice wallpaper. And the Golden Girls used to have that wallpaper. Bedspread.
Not bad.
An instructions pamphlet. 40. Oh, a tent from Walmart Flag City. Does this look like it camps to you? Okay. So yes, I do go camping in the woods. But my type of camping is like, I go to the campground early in the morning. We all have breakfast as a family. And as soon as everybody's tucked in, I go home for the evening. And then I'm back again, breakfast time. I just don't like to sleep on the ground. My back hurts.
What about a raised cot? Like an old army raised cot?
Yeah, it still doesn't. It doesn't. I don't. I wake up hurt. I hurt. So no.
Well, what you need is a doctor who knows how to fix the back and the neck.
Well, I've had back surgery, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, as long as I'm comfortable, I'm fine. But then if you get to the point where you're very uncomfortable sleeping, or you find, it could be off for at least a week, 2 weeks. So
Well,
I don't mind roughing it. I mean, I love the campgrounds and and cans at NICS Coins. Oh yeah, that's another great auction Monday nights, cans auction. That if you want to find good numismatic coins at a very, very reasonable price.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I mean, there's 3 auctions that I for numismatic coins at a very reasonable price, and you won't have people bidding you up to where you're overpaying. And a lot of these coins that's where I got the coins to be able to sell for more and was able to create a stack.
Okay.
And buy more numismatic coins. And then I upgraded my Walking Liberties because that my collection of Walking Liberties they're not always the best coins, right? Sometimes you have to work up to that. So I would trade them in. I'd buy better ones and then I would sell the ones I had. And those are some of the auctions that there's 3 auctions that I really promote, that I have bought a lot of these coins, and you'll still see me there to this day trying to bid on the same coins because I've done so well with them.
Okay. I might have to hang out on Cam.
Yeah, and OC just listed them, and he's exactly right.
Can coin up, Durban long lived coins. We're all very good.
And I would never, and of course, I'm not going to promote something that I wouldn't stand behind.
Well, I will tell you this much. If you are ever camping when we're all doing it as a stacking community, if your back hurts, I'm an osteopathic doctor. I'll be good to your post-surgerized back. And let's see if I can get you back to where you have your mobility back again.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Problem with Nick is that none of those take cans. Oh, so and if you are bidding against me and I want something, I will tell you that it's bottle day. I do, and I'll tend to bully in the chat. No, I'm just teasing. I don't, but I will tell people that it is bottle day, so they know that I'm able to go a little bit higher. So yesterday I took bottles back, and I was able, and I got $65 because if I sort them myself, instead of if I count and sort them between like bottles and then your cans, you get 6 cents instead of the 5 cents. So I just made a cent over on each bottle. So yeah, yesterday I took them back for $65. And I did buy a nice Walking Liberty from the Durbans. I haven't gotten it in yet. I bought it, I think Wednesday night. Yeah, it was Wednesday night because I had to work today. So they had an auction today and I was working. So, and it was a 1916S. And I already have that, of course, but this is an upgrade to the one that I already have. So I'll be taking that out of the collection and selling that one soon. I don't bully. Gypsy. Yeah, I kind of do a little bit, but everybody knows I'm teasing because I really am, but kind of not. I'm just teasing you guys. So are we betting silver OC Stacker or no? I'm telling you right now, every time I did, and I don't do this often, but each time that I have bet around a silver, I've always won. I guess, am I on the show by myself? I don't know. Here he is. He's back. Thank God. Because I was just going to end the thing. I was going to end it.
What I did.
I'm sorry?
I have no idea what I did.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're back because I was just going to end your program for you.
You can do that?
Well, I was still on, so I was just going to say goodnight to everyone and then just.
I will tell you this much. The reason the other camera is off and we're back to the avatar is because as soon as we finish, I've got a 3, maybe 4 hour trip to go to my next job.
Oh, well, then you probably need to get going.
Well, I was having
2 hours.
a lot of fun with everyone.
It is fun, right? You've got a great chat. You got some awesome people.
I have awesome people. I have smart people here. I have a smart, awesome co-host.
Oh, thank you.
Who brings her own premium.
Well, what is that premium? I'm just teasing.
You're a very, as pretty as you are also just as smart as you are pretty. You're also one of the most honest, sweet people I've ever met. So
that's very kind of you. Thank you.
And I mean, you bring a lot of credits to the table.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Anyone who works with you. Okay, Frosty, that'd be good because I'll be driving down the road. It'd be kind of nice to chit chat. But
you almost said it sounded like a bad word.
No, well,
I know you didn't. I'm teasing you.
Okay. No, I don't mind throwing money into the curse bowl, even if it's not on the screen. But
10 cents a bottle. Oh, they get 10 cents. Well, but the deposit that we give, yes, I see on the cans, it says like Maine, it's a 5-cent deposit. So really you're just getting your deposit back. But nevertheless, I'm saving them at least throughout the month. And we drink a lot of water in Poland Spring water bottles. I know we shouldn't be drinking out of the water bottles, but and I like Propel, so it's convenient.
I can understand that.
Mm.
I want to point out something here because we talked about making sure you buy things that are smart. Another thing I want to point out to everyone is to make sure that you are buying things that are not fakes. Buy from someone who's reputable. Have devices that will help you along the way, especially if you're new.
Educate yourself, just education. Know what you're doing first.
Exactly.
I mean, you have so many resources.
I have 3 or 4, maybe more, at least 3 or 4 videos on about determining fakes, including for those of you who've not seen it. And this only works for silver maple leaves with striations. So like, what was it, 2012 and after, with the little striations.
Mhm.
You can use a bubble jet printer.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Well, I've got one coming out. Forget if I said it as a premiere for Saturday or Sunday. I think it was set up as Sunday. I have, after 2 years of searching for a fake maple, I have a fake maple, and I was able to redo the study with it. And I'm not going to tell you what the results are, but I think it will be very interesting. So that's set up to be released. I think it's set up for Sunday. And Michael Stacking pocket pinger. I have some very interesting information that's never been discussed about pocket pinger, both from what I've done separately and what my pawn shop lady can tell you about pocket pingers.
Good or bad? Positive or negative?
More scientific.
Okay. Hi, Herman. Good to see you.
I mean, I go over the pros and the cons, but things that is not normally said in other streams.
Yeah.
And also, my pawn shop lady has pocket pingers of the past.
Okay. I just didn't care that you have to buy the app.
I didn't buy the app.
Okay. Well, I mean, they
I got
promote.
it free.
Okay, so you just do it by sound. That's not as
Well,
easy.
I used the app, but at one point I had to buy like $2 of the app because it wasn't recognizing silver ice.
Oh, okay.
It cost me $2 to upgrade it. I was like,
Well, if you don't mind, I have to address something in the chat right now because I don't know if Herman knows this, but he just wrote, "Let's go Cowboys." And as you can see, I'm a Patriot fan, but I got a real flip coin that was actually used in Gillette Stadium. And of course, I left it upstairs. I never leave it upstairs. It's always on me, but I'm getting ready to put it in the display that I have for the back. So I have one in it. It's amazing. It's awesome, right, Tiger? I mean, come
yeah,
on.
especially when you show the T.
I know, right? Because what? It doesn't mean tails. It means tiger.
Yes, dear.
Awesome. A Niners. We're going to see all. But I have a real flip coin. And to this point, I don't know of anybody else that has been able to get one. And that's been a challenge that Stacking Surfer has put out there, that to see if anybody else, if that's what they like, can find a flip coin.
Oh, here's a question, Nick. What do you love more, the flip coin or a walking liberty?
Oh, who asked it?
Me.
Oh, this is gonna be do I have to answer that? Because okay, I'll answer it this way. My favorite clad coin is my flip coin, and my favorite silver coin is my walking liberty. I bet you didn't think you were gonna get that answer, did ya?
I kind of figured you would find a politically appropriate way.
And that was it, right? Did I ever tell you how the Dallas Cowboys helped fix my vacuum? I put my That's good. Ooh.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the treasurer's room.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to use that one as, I'm going to claim that's good. Then I'm going to claim that one as my own because that is really good. Or her hair. What do you mean, Gypsy Wolves? Oh, oh, I like that. Did you read that one, Herman? Okay, so OC, what's going on here? What are we doing? Because tomorrow, what time do they play tomorrow? So I stream with so I'm streaming tomorrow. We're going to be on Stacking Surfers channel. Tomorrow we're going to start streaming at 10 o'clock or 10 p.m. Eastern time. So if the game is running into that time frame, I will have the game on behind my monitor here. So, and that's how I always streamed on Saturdays with college football days, is that I always put it behind my streaming monitor. I worked at one point for hotel buying company. My counterfeit collection is massive due to fakes. People bought it daily, weekly. Oh, neat. So I don't remember what hotel or what year it was, but have you guys ever seen that show on Discovery, Dirty Jobs? That was one of the dirty jobs. A hotel used to, and I know we're not supposed to do this, clean coins for women because they wore white gloves. So the hotel washed their coins so that they wouldn't get their white gloves dirty. So, and that was, I watched that program down south with my in-laws. And of course, I was just new to coin collecting and I was really into it. Of course, and on the plane, I had every book I could imagine find that I was going to read on my trip. So my sister-in-law looks at me and we're all at the dinner table and she says, I hope they're not watching. I know they're not. I definitely know they're not watching me anyway. She goes, I thought you weren't supposed to clean your coins. And I said, no, you're not. And then I went into the details of why you're not supposed to. And she's like, I just wanted to know whether or not you're supposed to clean your coins or not. I was like, oh, well, no. So that was it. I always tell that story too of like why YouTube was great, because then I could meet like-minded people that we could talk about numismatic coins or silver coins, and because nobody in my life really cared. But my sister-in-law, she's my sister-in-law. So, waiting for me to answer. I already answered. So silver round, Alabama versus Georgia, 3 p.m. Thank you. Oh, okay. So 3 o'clock. So, something I don't understand is why college football, it takes 4 hours to get through a game, and NFL 2 hours tops. So they're asking if you got any sleep, Tiger.
I am going to as soon as I get to the hotel. I'm really, really good.
Oh my gosh, it's 10:48 my time. I didn't realize how late it was. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm really good at getting power naps. So I'll lay down, I take a fuzzy blanket with me everywhere.
A tiger blanket?
Yeah, I would love to have a tiger blanket. If I could get I love fuzzy blankets. Linus has nothing on me in my fuzzy blanket. So, but no, I'd love to have a tiger fuzzy blanket.
I'm more concerned when I go to a hotel. I'm more concerned with how many Clorox bleach wipes and Lysol spray I have on me. I know I'm a little OCD. I mean, it's just I'm going to wash down the telephone. I'm going to wash down the light switches with my Clorox bleach wipes and
that I understand.
Bring my own pillowcase. Yeah, I'm just weird. I'm a weird traveler, but I like what I like.
You're not weird. You're cautious. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Well, so yeah, you should see my hands, how dried and cracked they are, on how much I wash them. So yes, I could be a little bit obsessive, but anyway.
So if it's okay with all of you, I'm going to close the stream. I had a wonderful time with you, Nick.
Thank you. It was fun
As,
as always.
as you're highly intelligent, as well
Well,
as
thank
young and
you.
beautiful,
Well,
as
thank
well
you.
as a wonderful person.
Oh, well, thank you, Tiger. And
And
you are as well. Very generous and thoughtful and kind. Thank you.
and I want to thank Fuzzy Wuzzy was a tiger. Oh God. Oh, God. Thanks, Frosty.
Hi, Tuli. Gypsy, I'm not weird. Gypsy is like,
Julie,
I'm not weird, Gypsy.
she's not weird. She's a very intelligent lady.
Well, thank you. Yes, well, Gypsy's always gonna have those jokes with me. We
So
jab at each other. He and I have fun.
yes, Tully is a keeper, and Nick is a keeper.
Yes,
And to be
she is.
honest with you, all my friends over there on the chat, you're all keepers as well. And I want to thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you for staying with us for so long. I didn't even realize we were on this long.
Yeah,
Because I intended for an hour.
yeah. Well, we kind of get lost in time.
Yeah,
And
it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, and I sure loved listening to all your stories as a mother and housewife on how you stacked. And I hope a lot of you got those pearls of wisdom.
And I, of course, I have more tips of what I did, and a lot of it got lost because we were just having fun conversation. But
Well, if
it,
you want, we can always do a part two to
well,
this.
I think I might even start a series on that as well.
Yeah,
On how to purchase on a budget and how to expand your collection.
yeah. You just got to keep in mind there is one thing that is not acceptable when you're saving money. You have to have Starbucks.
But I do have my extras, but again, everything's in moderation, right? Because I do love my
Yeah,
Starbucks.
true, true.
But again, I don't want all the calories either, so I'm not gonna go there every day. It's gonna be
I
a treat.
understand. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just having a little fun.
Oh, and I know Tuli, she likes her Starbucks too, but I do. So if you go to the store, Tiger, if you go by the drive-through, I want a tall white chocolate mocha, fat-free and no whip, please. But I want that to be a double.
Well, you know you had to use the P word, didn't you?
What's the P word?
Please.
I did say please, didn't I?
Yeah, that means I have no choice but to give you what you want.
Oh, well, please. Please, please.
No, if I'm in the neighborhood with you,
I can
I'll follow through with the please.
okay, well, please and thank you, because I always say my thank yous. But I do, but just make sure don't come back now with just a regular. I want a double or a triple espresso shot in my Starbucks, please. And make sure it's fat free and no whip either, because I won't drink it because I don't want the calories.
I understand. I understand.
A woman of my age, we have to watch our calories now.
I understand. I got to work on my weight, get that down, and it's kind of hard because with my job, I get stressed. And I'm a
Mm.
stress eater, so I'll work on that also.
Believe it or not, I can too. And right now, and I'm always snacking though too. And right now, I need a snack. It's getting snack time. But I'll put that in the chat a lot of times too. Of like, I'll be right back because I gotta go get a snack. But I snack on healthy stuff. So I got broccoli upstairs that I roasted the other night. So and it's delicious.
Understood. Understood. Now, on that note, if it's okay with you, I'm going to
Yeah.
cancel. I'm going to get in my vehicle because I got about a 3, maybe 4 hour drive, depending on the road conditions.
Yeah, and I gotta walk upstairs.
And I think you have a longer trip than I do. So
Yeah, I mean, I have a mountain to climb.
I understand. But thank you very much, everyone.
Thank
Good,
you.
good night, everyone. Thank you for a wonderful time in the chat. I would stay forever if I could, but someone's got to pay the bills. Good night, everyone. Okay, in the stream.